joy without any effort, he says, oh, impediment is there. For a person seeking God realization, everything is so beautiful. Then how can there be any impediment in the path of God realization? How is it possible? If everything is part and parcel of the same divine infinite consciousness, how can something be an impediment? Give it some thought. Om Purna Madaha. This is infinite. This Purna Madaha. This is infinite. This is divine. Purna Midam. That is also infinite. So where you stand is divine. What you are seeking is also divine. That which you seek as divine is present right now with you. Purnat Purna Mudachyate. Purnasya Purna Madaya Purna Mevavshishyate. Everything is made out of that supreme, infinite, divine consciousness. That which you seek as supreme, divine, infinite consciousness is you itself and has the same thing as manifested as the cosmos. And that also remains unmanifested as well. Divine Mother is Vyakt, Avyakt, and beyond Vyakt and Avyakt. This is what I have realized. When I realized God, or when I woke up to the eternal, everything is living Divine Mother. Everything is living Divine Mother. Everything is manifested Divine Mother within the unmanifested Divine Mother, and Divine Mother is beyond manifestation and non-manifestation. And this is the eternal truth.
How can something be manifest, yet at the same time non-manifest or unmanifest?
Not both. All the three things are simultaneously true. Divine Mother is manifested, unmanifested, and beyond manifestation and unmanifestation. Now you are asking me, how is it true? Simple. Have you seen water? Have you seen ice? Have you ever felt water vapor? Felt as if you just boil water, you can feel the water vapor. You go to a steam room, you will feel water vapor. But at the end of the day, isn't it water itself? There lies your answer.
So much has been written, so much has been theorized about what happens at the point of death, at the point of physical death. What are your views on it?
Nothing happens. The instrument stops working. It is the most exaggerated thing. It is the most unnecessarily exaggerated thing. Nothing happens, nothing changes. The journey continues as it is, uninhibited. One of my disciples, very close to my heart, he was struggling with the concept of God realization, self-realization. He used to read a lot of books, think a lot, contemplate a lot. And he had this bouts of depression, some Purva Janma Sanskara. When he will face any tough time, he will feel this urge to commit suicide. So one day he came to me and he said, Guruji, I have this urge to suicide again and again. So I asked him a simple question. Do it if you want. But before doing that, tell me one thing. What will change? And for him, that was that moment of enlightenment. He just asked me, Guruji, right? What will change? And that was his moment of enlightenment. He achieved self-realization then and there. And it happened during this lifetime of mine. Because he realized the facade of duality, the irrelevance of duality. What will change? Nothing. How can someone commit suicide? It's foolish. The journey is eternal.
what did Buddha actually mean when he said that when you realize yourself, that you cease to be or you do not exist?
He says, right, he ceased to be. His eye ceased to be. He moved beyond his eye. The moment you transcend your eye, you no longer exist. If you look at infinite from one angle, it is infinite. From another angle, it is zero. So either you are everywhere or you are nowhere. If I say, I am nowhere, I don't exist, I mean to say that I have become infinite. If I say I have become infinite, I at the same time mean I don't exist. Zero and infinite. These two concepts are the description of the same state. This is what people don't understand. The same state. If you go behind the philosophy of zero and if you go behind the philosophy of infinite, both the concepts define the same thing.
The quest for a fundamental particle has engaged physicists for a long time in this century. Do you think it's a fruitless search? What is your viewpoint on that?
No quest is fruitless. All quest will lead you to the same answer. If you ask me, Guruji, is there a fundamental particle? Yes, there is. I call it prananu. But it will take physics years and years of evolution to come to the level where it can develop faculties of understanding to start thinking in the direction of something wherein prananu can be conceived or understood.
Does this prananu have mass?
That I would leave unanswered. It will take years of evolution for physics to develop faculties to start thinking in the direction of prananu. That means physics has to learn to think beyond the three dimensions. You are still thinking in terms of mass and momentum. You are still thinking in terms of the three dimensions, right? Do you think it is the only way to think? Thinking in terms of mass and momentum, thinking in terms of the three dimensions, and if you consider time as the fourth dimension, do you think these are the only terms to think? Before Einstein, before theory of relativity came, people didn't know how to think like that. The contribution of Einstein was he gave a new thought process. He didn't just further the existing thought processes. See, there are two types of scientists. One who keep on inventing, discovering things in the framework of existing thought process, in the framework of existing pattern of thought processes. And then sometimes people like Einstein come who redefine the framework itself. So then you come across new avenues of thought processes, new ways to think, like Einstein, Max Planck, quantum theory, theory of relativity, so on and so forth. The physicists will need to think like enlightened masters to conceive something like prana. The hint lies in what I just said. It just takes a tweak in the thought process for a Ravan to transform into Ram. In that, I have laid the secret formula of being able to think in terms of something which can lead you to prananu.
Does it mean physics will now have to move in the direction of spirituality to be able to find this fundamental particle and get this fundamental breakthrough?
Spirituality is supreme physics. Physics is not something which is beyond or separate from spirituality. Physics is a very small subset of spirituality. It is within spirituality, but a very small subset. It has to evolve. It has to expand its horizons.
Is mass an illusion?
No, not at all. Mass is very much a reality. So is momentum. Why do you need to label some existing truth as illusion to reach to another truth? Why don't you understand that all truths are interconnected, and hence one truth, if properly handled, if properly understood, will lead you to another truth.
Many enlightened masters in Hinduism have stated that the physical universe is a creation of the mind. Can you throw some light on this?
Because it is. What is mind according to you? Isn't mind in itself a mass of energy? And isn't energy infinite? Concentrated form of energy, if properly activated, why can't it become the nerve center of the entire cosmos' energy and hence manifest anything at will? Just like a bunch of atoms, if properly processed in a nuclear reactor, can produce so much of electricity or can create so much of devastation. Atoms are everywhere, right? Put a nuclear reactor in place. Put certain conditions, certain reactants in place. In controlled way, it will produce enormous energy. In uncontrolled way, it will produce enormous destruction. But at the end of the day, isn't it possible theoretically? Then why can't a mass of energy, if properly processed, become the focal point of the entire cosmos' energy and manifest everything at will?
When people talk about the soul, the mind, and the consciousness, do they refer to the same thing or the same entities?
Definitely yes. Manifestations of the same thing. The entire cosmos, with each and every of its diversity, is actually manifestation of the same thing.
This is a question about destiny. If some things are predestined, does it mean that regardless of my actions, the predestined event should happen?
It totally depends on to what extent you are trapped in your ego, in your I. For an enlightened master, there is nothing like destiny. He dictates destiny. For a trapped mind, for a trapped being, it totally depends on the extent of its entrapment. The more you are trapped, the more destiny will have bearing on you. The lesser trapped you are, the lesser is the bearing on you of the destiny.